Chapter 4, Lesson 1, Estimate Products of Fractions. Before we estimate, let's review on how to multiply fractions. We have 1/3 times 4. We always put the whole number over a 1. So this is going to be 1/3 times 4 over 1. And then we go ahead and multiply it. And we get 4/3, which is an improper fraction. So we have to change that to a mixed number. We do that by dividing 4 divided by 3. So 4 divided by 3. 3 goes into 4 one time. And you have a remainder of 1 over 3, and that is your answer. So you're going to be doing kind of the same thing, but first you're going to estimate your fractions. If you remember when we estimated decimals, we were looking for compatible numbers, or we estimated division problems. So we had 9 divided by 4. So we changed that to 8 divided by 4 to make it compatible. And that's what we're going to be doing with these fractions and whole numbers. So this would be 1 over 4 times 13 over 1, which would be 13 over 4. Now I want to find a compatible number that 4 can go into. So 4 cannot go into 13 evenly. So I want to estimate 13 to be something that 4 can go into. It can't be 14, but I can estimate it down to make it 12. And 12 divided by 4 is 3. So what I wanted to do is to find a compatible number for 4 and 13. So when I see those two numbers, I know 4 cannot go into 13, but can go into 12. And that way when I put this over 1 and figure it out, I get 12 over 4, and again I get 3. Here I have 1/5 times 16. I know 5 cannot go into 16, so I'm going to estimate 16 to make it compatible with a 5 so it can go in evenly. So I know 5 cannot go into 14 or 16 or 17, but it can go into 15. So when I go 1/5 times 15 over 1, I come up with 15 over 5, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. I have 5/6 times 13. Now I'm looking at the 6 and the 13. I know 6 cannot go into 13 evenly, but I know that I can change that to 12, and that would work. Now I have to multiply 12 times 5 and get 60 over 6, and then I know 6 goes into 6 goes into 60 10 times. So my answer would be 10. Because 60 divided by 6 is 10. And it's much easier to do it this way, estimating this number to make it something that 6 can go into, so when you do multiply it across, it comes out evenly. Here's number 1 from their homework, 1/4 times 21. 4 cannot go into 21, so I'm going to make this 1/4 times 20, because I know 4 can go into 20 5 times. If you look at number 4, 4 1/3 times 2 3/4. I'm estimating the whole number. I'm estimating 4 1/3, and I'm estimating 2 3/3. So I do not want this to be a fraction. So 4 1/3 is closer to 4. 2 3/4 one more fourth and it's going to be 3. So I'm going to raise 2 3/4 to 3. So 4 times 3 will be 12. Number 8 says estimate the area of each rectangle. So I have 5 3/4 and 8 1/8. So I know 5 3/4. 3/4 is 1/4 away from one more hole. So I'm going to change 5 3/4 to 6, and 8 1/8 is small, so I'm going to leave that as an 8. So I'm going to do 8 times 6 is 48 square feet. Now when we come to fractions, I tell the class to think of pizza. 3/4. If you eat 3 pieces of a personal pan pizza and there's 4 pieces, you almost ate one whole pizza. So that's why I would make 5 3/4 up to 6. So you get a small pizza and there's only 8 pieces. You ate 1 piece out of the 8 pieces, so that's barely eating any of the pizza. So that's why this would stay as an 8. Hopefully these helped out, and we'll see you for lesson 2 of chapter 4.